Hey there guys, for this video I'm going to be reviewing the Iron Monger figure from the first Iron Man movie that was released in 2008 in anticipation for the upcoming Iron Man 2 movie. So here it goes. This is a really neat figure. It's not perfect, but it's cool. You know, there was two Iron Monger figures released. There was this one, and then there was the other one where you squeeze the legs together and it moves one of his arms to do like a smashing action or whatever. I chose to get this one because the silver plastic looks cooler, you know, it has a cooler feature, and its articulation isn't hindered by, you know, some crazy action feature. So this figure stands almost just about 8 inches tall, not quite, but you know, it's about 7 3/4 inches, so it's almost 8. But I read somewhere that the Iron Monger in the movie was 10 inches, so really this guy should be 2 inches taller than he actually is. But it's not that big a deal. He still towers over Iron Man, as you can see, you know. So it's alright. It's not bad. But you know, it's what we get. The articulation on this guy is pretty good. He does not have any head articulation at all. It doesn't turn or anything. It's just like that. But he does have a ball jointed shoulder. Oops, his cockpit popped up there. It has the rotating bicep. It has a double jointed elbow, but that's about as far as you can get it because of this piece of plastic right there. You know, he has a ball joint at the wrist. He turns at the waist. He has the weird, like, you know, ball joint there that you have to like turn it to position it. Typical Hasbro hip joint. He's got that there. And then he has a single jointed knee that can move like that. And then he has foot articulation. So, you know, you can get plenty of cool poses out of him. I like the way they painted the arc reactor. It's like white, but then there's like a blue outline around it, so it looks like it's glowing. I think that's pretty cool. You know, he's got pretty cool weapons sculpted on there. Like there's a Gatling gun on his wrist, and then there's some sort of laser beam there on his other wrist. You know, pretty cool figure. His action feature is that you can open up his cockpit. And there's Obadiah Stane in there. Getting a lot of sunlight, so I'm trying to shade it a little so you can see it better. You know, and when you close his cockpit, his head just springs down like that. But what's cool is there's a trigger. Well, it's not a trigger, but there's a thing there so that as it's closing, it hits on this button down here, and that actually brings down his head. So this piece of plastic up here doesn't actually crash into his head, because that would like mess up the paint. So I think that was smart of them to do. See, if I do it slowly, you can see that it goes down before it actually makes contact. So what you do is you lift this up and it just pegs in there. You know, when I first got it, I was afraid that it would be like it would spring up and open up on its own, but I've had it on display for about 2 years, and it doesn't open up by itself. It opened up earlier because when I lifted up the arm, it hit the shoulder pad, which is attached there, so it opened that way. So there he is. This is definitely the best Iron Monger figure to get. One more thing, this Obadiah Stane sculpted guy in there is way too small. You know, let's get Tony Stark in here for comparison. trying to get both of them in there. You know, you can tell that Obadiah Stane is much smaller than Iron Man. He's about the size of a 3 3/4 inch figure, which, you know, a lot of people are saying that this is good for the Iron Man 2 figures, to be in scale. He's a little too big to be properly in scale with those. He would have to be like 6.5 inches, I think, or 6 2/3 inches would be the proper scale. This is almost 8, so it's still a little too big. But if you want to use it for that, it's cool. So, you know, he's having size problems all over the place. He's too big for the 3 3/4 inch figures, or the 4 inch figures, whatever, and he's too small for the 6 inch scale. But, you know, it's not perfect, but it's still great. You know, you can tell there's a size difference there. So, yeah, it's a good compliment to Iron Man. Like I said in my last video, I'm planning on, these are the only 2 Iron Man figures I have from the first movie, but I'm planning on going back and getting the Mark 1, Mark 2, the Mark 3 from the first movie. There's a 3-pack at Toys R Us. They still have it. It's $30 to get those 3 figures. So I'm planning on getting that, and then I'm going to get the Walmart exclusive Mark 4, Mark 5, Mark 6, War Machine, 6 inch scale figures. I'm probably going to pass on the 4 inch figures, but I might get a few of those, maybe. And then they're also releasing a Crimson Dynamo and a Titanium Man in the 6 inch scale. I don't know if I'll be getting those, but I might. So, if you want to see any of those reviews, subscribe to this channel, and they'll show up in your subscription box as soon as I post them. You know, remember to leave a comment below on this video. Tell me what you think. Rate it however you want. That's all. So, have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you next time.